Lesson 180. This is the last lesson of review number 5. And we have been together for 6 months, 180 days. That is amazing. My name is Judith. This is the Qigong support for Course in Miracles students. And you are at the Lucid Mind Center. We're going to read this short Course in Miracles review lesson together. We're going to contemplate it together. And then I'm going to guide you to a Qigong class where you can apply those lessons, where you can use the Qigong meditation, either standing or seated, to apply this lesson. As you remember, in lesson 153, the Course has urged us that we should spend at least 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening on meditating, on sinking deep within and considering this lesson. But it also said that it would be better if we did 10 or 15 minutes, and even better would be if we wanted to spend maybe 30 minutes or even longer in this contemplative state, in this meditative state, allowing ourselves to do nothing really, and just allowing ourselves to sink deep into our core and listening to our higher consciousness, listening to our holy voice. So this is why I have created those Qigong classes. I hope you're going to like them. So let's begin reading our lesson together. At the end, remember to subscribe to my channel, and if you like it, and let me know how long you've been with A Course in Miracles and where you're watching from. Welcome. Let's begin. Lesson 180. The core idea which we have been considering for the last 10 days is God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, therefore so are we. So everybody is part of that love. There is nobody who is excluded, and that consciousness is just waiting for us to remember that. It's waiting patiently for every single one of us to remember that we are part of that one, part of that big whole. So God is but love, and therefore so am I. Try today really to envelop this in every thought. Repeat it every hour. Repeat it twice an hour. Just really consider it. It's probably become second nature to you. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And the first idea which we're going to review today is by grace I live. By grace I am released. This is from lesson 169. The grace is the gift. Gracefully, you just gift your blessing. By grace do we live, and by grace do we release. We release ourselves by forgiving ourselves. When we make a mistake, we just choose again. Don't punish ourselves. Okay, oh, I made a mistake. I went down the wrong direction. I got myself caught in ego thoughts or in ego madness. That's okay. I forgive myself, change direction. I am graceful with myself. I change the direction. I change the way I am looking at this. So, by grace I live, and by grace I am released. Not only do you release yourself, when you release others, you release yourself. You release others as well, and they can feel it when you are forgiving, and when you gracefully overlook it, they become so incredibly grateful to you. You can express it with a smile, with a nod, with an expression, don't worry about it, I understand you. That is grace. I'm with you. I get you. That is grace. I'm here with you. I'm here for you. That is grace. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Whatever God is, if God is full of grace, so are you. There is no cruelty in God and none in me. This is from lesson 170. This was the last lesson of this particular review period. If you perceive cruelty in you, then you remember that this is not you. That is the ego. This is that darkness which you have enveloped yourself. And we have multiplied this darkness. We have multiplied it 8 billion times at the moment on this earth. And we want to step out of this darkness. We want to become aware that the true self, our core self, has got no cruelty in it. Cruelty is an invention of the ego. Cruelty is an invention of fear, because there is no cruelty in God. There is no cruelty in love, and therefore there is none in you. If you are loving somebody, or if you hear somebody say love is cruel, then they haven't understood love. They're not talking about love. They're talking about bondage or SM or God knows what they're talking about. But they're not talking about actual love. Love is not cruel. Love cannot be cruel. The same as light cannot be cruel. So if you're talking about the sunlight, and you know that the sunlight can actually burn our skin, and then say, well, light can burn the skin. No, it's not this light we are talking about. That's why I'm saying, when you close your eyes and you are looking for the light, it is not this light. It is not this kind of burning, scary light which can burn. It is a light of compassion. It's the light of love. It is the light of forgiveness. It's the light of all-encompassing. It is a light which is warm but cannot burn. It is a light which cools when you need cooling. It's a light which accommodates. It's more like water. Okay? So there is no cruelty in God. And why is there no cruelty in God? Because God is love. So there is no cruelty in love. There is no cruelty in compassion. There is no cruelty in kindness. There is no cruelty in truth. So that's why it's so incredibly important that you really internalize the meaning of the word God, that you really understand what that actually means for you. That it's not something to be scared of. It's not something to think that it's cruel. I mean, there's so many of us I hear saying on the internet, and people I've heard, yeah, but God is cruel. Look what he's doing to the world. It's not God who's doing that. It's not love who's doing it. It's not the light which is doing that. It's the ego madness which we are doing to each other. And then you say, yeah, but in the animal kingdom, the lion eats the antelope. But that is not reality either. This is the law of nature. And the law of nature, it is a co-creation of ours. And we just got to have a look. We got to just have a see. We just got to observe this in a different way. How does nature run life? What is the law of nature? And what are those different living beings in this nature? Nothing in this world can actually survive for long. So you got to come out of this and lay the grace on this and understand it is not about this physical life. It never was. It is not that physical life which is eternal. What is eternal is the energy, it's the life which is giving the power to this physical experience. That is what is eternal. And that is not cruel. It cannot be cruel, because it's just the power which is powering everything. It is the power which is giving me the energy to power this body. Life and love and God is that power which is giving the energy, which is making your heart beat and your lungs breathe without your necessity to have a will for it, which is making the blood flow through your body, which is holding those cells together for the appearance of this body for some reason. So there is no cruelty in God. There's no cruelty in love, and therefore there's no cruelty in you. If you perceive cruelty in you, that means you are focusing on the ego. Choose again. God is but love, and therefore so am I, and therefore so are you. So I have created several different Qigong classes today. I'm going to suggest the two which I've created for this particular review period, and I'm also going to, and if you feel so inclined, if you feel inspired, there is over 30 other Qigong classes which you can choose from. It is a very good thing to repeat classes, because then you know what is coming and you know how to, then you're not so much listening to what I'm saying to you. You already remember, and you have got better time to sink into the depth of yourself and just use the Qigong as a tool. For this particular lesson, I'm suggesting, as always, here is the seated Qigong class which I've created. Here is the standing Qigong class. And here you have got the whole list. If you feel inspired to do a different class, feel free to do so and let me know how it went for you. Love, light and chi to you.